Welcome to today's episode. We will dive into improving performance, resilience, sleep, and overall well-being without sacrificing mental health and hitting burnout. My guest is an expert in achieving peak performance through his program, Work Smart, Not Hard. He combines innovative sleep strategies with practical techniques to empower people to push hard but know when to recover. He is here to show us how to manage stress, avoid burnout, improve sleep, and take back control. So, Steph, let's get started with the first question. How does your program go beyond just meaningfulness and meditation?
First of all, Vadim, thank you for having me. So, yes, mindfulness and meditation are good in their own way, but in a busy modern business lifestyle, it's counterintuitive to be applying those things in our daily lives. So my program is about understanding the mind, understanding the physiology of the body, and then using practical and practicable tips that we can use in our daily lives to help maintain our performance and our resilience and our mindset throughout whatever the day throws at us.
Explain how, so I mentioned about work smart, not hard. Everybody's talking about that. So can you explain how work hard helps people perform at their best without burning out?
Concept of it is we're designed to work under stress, but we need stress for challenges and to optimize all of our mental and physical systems. But what we're not designed to do is to operate at that level for 8 hours a day, 5 days, 6 days a week. So my program is about not so much teaching people things, but reminding them what their body and their mind are capable of, and then applying them intelligently to their daily routines. I think like a Formula One car. It wants to go at maximum revs really fast. But what do? They come in and have a pit stop. They have a rest. And then they go again. And it's applying that same kind of mindset to our business day and our daily lives to allow us to optimize and rest without guilt and shame and feeling like you're letting the team down so that we can actually go again. And the idea being that at the end of the day, if you look at your performance over the day, you've achieved a huge amount more by having these, what I call micro pauses in our day.
May not experience burnout, but on the other hand, where they may not experience like top performance for what they are doing in their life. So what they can do about that?
Sure. So you're right, most people aren't burnt out. But a huge amount of the population are operating just below that threshold where they're constantly on edge and they're constantly feeling agitated and stressed. And you think about a footballer could kick a ball around all day, couldn't he? But he wouldn't be at his World Cup final best. So it's about this, understanding this idea of working in sprints, working in mental and physiological sprints, where we time box our time. And we understand that we're going to go and work really hard for 90 minutes and be focused. And then we're going to take a 2-minute pause and rest. And we build our business life and program around our physiology so that we're taking those rests again without shame or about, feeling weak or feeling like we're letting the team down. We're just not designed to operate like that.
Yeah, so, and
modifying how people see things.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
I want to just go back to that, to your program. So what, and I want to ask you, like, what role does resilience play in the business? I'm in the business, you're in the business, and how your program can help build that important resilience for the business.
Sure. The secret to resilience is learning what it is you need to be resilient against and what you can ignore. So I use a common formula called the CIA program. So control, influence, and accept or ignore. And it's giving people this awareness that there's no problem being concerned about the things you can control, or at least things you can influence, like your family, your friends, your colleagues. But it's letting them identify those things that they just cannot change. The weather, the international political situation. But what people have to understand is every bit of energy they give to things that they cannot control or influence is taking energy away from things that they can control or influence. And it's just being able to split everything down into those sections so that you're then more capable to be resilient against things that are important and relevant, and you can just basically ignore the things that you can't change. So it's being smart about your resilience and not just being able to be resilient to the whole world.
You saw on your social media that you were talking about micro breaks, and how do those like small pit stops help and boost performance of the person?
So you will be amazed at the difference it makes to have a 2-minute pause in your day. Because what happens there is those 2 minutes of you breathing or being distracted and being outside of your head tells your nervous system, oh, we must not be fighting tigers anymore. So it starts to calm down. And what's crucial here is the brain is always operating at 100% capacity, but it always prioritizes fight or flight, as in survival, whether it's a presentation or a meeting or a report. So if we can calm the body down, what it does is it gives us less energy being burnt on the fight or flight side, and it gives us more access to our cognitive abilities to think. Because from an evolutionary perspective, it's not clever to be clever. So we are trained to fight or flight first before we think. There's no need for you to understand whether it's a brown bear or a grizzly bear that's coming at you. You just need to either fight it or get out of the way. So the body literally switches off our modern intelligence when it senses we're in fear. So by slowing down our nervous system, the body thinks, hey, must be cool out there. We'll give him back his cognitive thoughts, which allows you to be more strategic, and problem solving becomes easier. So if in a 1 hour slot, if you take 2 minutes at the beginning to rest and recalibrate your nervous system, the remaining 58 minutes will be much more productive and less stressful.
Rest part, because so many videos now exist on how sleep is important, how sleep can improve performance. So, and I mentioned at the beginning, you can share this kind of strategy on how person can sleep right and implement those strategy to increase their performance. So can you tell me more about that?
First things first about sleep, it is the single best natural medicine that the body can have. We are designed to wake up in the morning, go and hunt and gather and fight and do all these things, and then come home and party with our friends and tell stories, and then rest and sleep through for a full night's rest. And then the body is prepared to do that every single day without any kind of harm or degeneration. But what we do is, with all social media and Netflix and all these things, is we destabilize our sleep patterns. Or when we go to bed, we bring all our worries with us, and we're ruminating and the brain's still running at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So poor sleep hygiene causes what can be a cumulative effect. It's bad enough to have a bad night's sleep, but if every night is a bad night's sleep, then your performance is going to be terrible in comparison to what you can do. And that's just simple. Your resilience, your mood, your cognitive planning, all of these things just go as soon as sleep goes away. It's against the Geneva Convention to use sleep deprivation as a torture. And yet we're doing it in the business world on a daily basis. So my sleep training program and my tools are vital. And within a few days, we can make a marked difference. And the thing about a good night's sleep is it makes all the other stuff look just that little bit more manageable. So that's the first thing that we approach within my program, is get the sleep right.
I know based on minds, right, when you are not sleeping, you feel extremely bad after all. But sometimes you just gotta do some things. You gotta stay late at night. You must do. Just now, I was working out. You do multitasking. Sometimes you get up to 3 a.m. And that's because we are basically living in this fast world right now, where you need to do multiple things at the same time. So my second question is how to kind of break through that and regain control that person may need for their life.
So this is a key part of my program, the fact that life does happen to us. But what we've got to understand is it's not tough to fight through. So you're always going to have to pay back that debt. So you have to have it as a priority that, okay, I had a late night last night, I had a long day today. We need to prioritize rest and recuperation to get us back on into our main area, and to do it without feeling shame. So very often, I have a thing, I'm in my late 50s now, and there's a thing about an old man half hour. But also, if you look at many cultures, like the Mediterranean culture, they will have a siesta in the middle of the day. Now that could be about the weather and all these things, but the human body is designed to have these kind of midday rests. So what I have learned myself is when I have a pause, I can begin my day going full speed ahead. Because I know that my day doesn't end at 6 p.m. I know that come 1 p.m., I've programmed that if I'm feeling it, and you can be overwhelmed with positivity. It doesn't always have to be bad news and things, but you're using your mental function and you're planning, you get decision fatigue. I know at 1 o'clock, if I need it, I can just airplane mode my phone, switch off my laptop, and I go and lie down. No shame, no guilt, because I know, having practiced this, that in 30 minutes time, that's all it takes, maybe 15 minutes, I'm going to be backfiring on all cylinders again, and then I'll be good. I often have meetings at 7, 8 p.m. because I work internationally, and I'm on fire because I've paced myself for my working day.
And they're like, yes, that's exactly something that I need. That's something I want to implement in my life, in my workflow. So can you tell me a little bit about what's the process like working with you?
Sure, no problem. I have a structured program, breaks it down into 3 stages. The first one is a really simple, I call it the 5-day challenge. And that's a free course. It's online, YouTube videos, coupled with some audio files and some instructions on sleep hygiene. And what that does is it gives you a chance to try before you buy. It's a free course. It's designed to have a huge impact in a very short period of time. And that does 2 things for both of us. Because if you complete that 5-day challenge, there's a very high degree of chance or likelihood, there's a very high likelihood that you will be feeling better and sleeping better. So that does 2 things for you. What that does is it means, A, you're feeling better, but B, you believe that there's a possibility for you to change. And that's the point where you would then decide to come and work with me in the second stage. Now, I call that the love it or leave it moment. It's a free course. There's no ties. There's no commitment. You do that course. If you feel great and want to move on, go away, then that's cool. But generally what happens is people go, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I want more of that. Then what I would do is we'd say, let's look at my 7-week program. And the 7-week program is an app-based coaching program where we're doing the repetitions. So you're learning more about your mindset, more about your physiology. But if I tell you to go to the gym, it will make you fit. You'll be like, cool, yeah, gyms, fitness, obviously. But the 7-week program is about doing the reps, putting in the time. Because my program is about neuroplasticity, literally rewiring your brain to think differently and rewiring your body to respond differently to the sensations and the inputs that you're giving it. So that 7 weeks is about, I call it boot camp, call it basic training, whatever. That's about learning all the fundamentals about yourself, understanding the impact of other people, of circumstances, and handling it and giving you your new toolkit with which to take on the world. So that's phase 2. Then, armed with all of these tools, because my original background, I was an army officer, but then I've done 10 years as a business coach. So I've got a lot of background in business with my MBA and experience working with CEOs. So what we do is we take this tool chest, the 7 weeks basic training, and we apply it over a 6-month program where we can look at a bespoke response to your situation. That could be working on leadership, team development, conflict management, sales, but also from a personal perspective, it'll help you with your relationships. It can help with parenting. So there's so many different ways that we can use these tools that we've learned. So I offer a 6-month package where I work either one-to-one or in a group setting with people. So all of that's available.
And you already mentioned it a little, but I want to ask you, like, what specific tools or exercise do you offer to help people to get the result that they would want to achieve?
Okay, so there's a load of different tools. The great thing about them is you get to choose which ones work for you. And that could be using breath work, it can be using visualization, it can be using exercise, it can be using music, binaural stimulation. There's lots of different avenues that we can use to use the physiological functions in the body. And a lot of the training is understanding how the mind, the heart, the gut, the muscles, the nervous system, how they all interact with each other and how we can take control of them. Because for many people, we're like the passengers in this body suit, this meat suit. We're just being taken around wherever the world takes us. And it's about giving you back the driver's wheel for your body and for your mind. And it's just various different exercises that allow you to understand that, and then you choose and you build your own toolkit to work that works best for you and for your circumstances.
Brilliant. And I think like this topic of performance is such a huge topic. It's such a difficult topic also at the same time, especially with this fast-paced environment, that we can talk about that for hours. But I have a final question for you. So what should listeners do if they want to take next step?
Sure, that's super simple and it's designed that way, Vadim. All you have to do is
Stef Hines has amazing, and I think we can talk about performance and productivity for a long time because it's such a big, such a difficult topic. And but I have one final question for you. So, what should listeners do if they want to take the next step?
It's super simple. Just go to my LinkedIn profile. There's a link under my name there. If you click on that, you can join or you can look at my free school community. There's more information on there in the About page. If you like what you see there, drop your email in there and then you'll be able to register on my free 5-day challenge. And once you've done that, I will be able to contact you during it. I'll be able to support you in it. And after you've done the 5-day challenge, you will be in the perfect position to decide whether you want to work further with me or if you just want to take it and go on with what you've already learned.
That's brilliant. Man, such a great conversation. Thank you very much for your time. And to everybody, bye-bye.
Thank you very much. You take care.